Today I will be talking about and reviewing the masterclass that I did of Ron Howard. He is one of the best known directors and producers in Hollywood nowadays. And yeah, his masterclass is about directing. So let's get into it. Here we have the overview of his masterclass. At first you have a short introduction to who he is, how he got into directing. He actually started out as a child actor. He was on some TV shows, in some movies, and from there eventually he kind of transitioned into directing. Like in many master classes that are about filmmaking and all that, they first off always talk about story. It's really like the key element if you want to create a good movie, is having a good and interesting story. What I like here, he then went into script writing, first like evaluating it, looking at it, what can be done with it, and here refining a script, getting a bit more into detail and making sure that everything is ready for the day of shooting. And then here he talks about developing the film, what all goes into actually the steps before the actual movie making. So, you know, hiring a bunch of people. He has, you know, multiple conversations with many different people in order to get the movie prepared and get it done. Here in these two collaboration videos, he talks about, you know, also being open-minded. As a director, you know, you have a vision for the film, but you still need to be open to other opinions or ideas that could improve the movie. Then on here he gets into some more technical parts, so cinematography itself, production design. So then we get to the scene deconstruction of the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones. So you sit down together with Ron Howard and you watch a action scene from there. It's like a car chase, and Indiana Jones is moving from car to car, you know, fighting with people and all of that. So really a very entertaining scene, but definitely not so easy to shoot. And it was really cool to see how Ron Howard can break down a scene into the shots. He talked about the camera, he talked about the actors. Also, obviously Harrison Ford couldn't do all the action scenes, so he pointed out whenever most likely they used a stunt double. We get some more scene deconstructions from some of his movies now. So Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind, which I think for A Beautiful Mind he definitely won 1 or 2 Academy Awards. Those were fun to watch. Again, working with the people on stage, you have the casting, how that's a very important role in finding the right people. Again, here is a point where he could talk about the experience he had as an actor and now becoming a director. So that was very interesting to listen to. And then we get into my favorite parts here. You have around like 7 episodes from Frost Nixon, one of his movies. And what you do is they took out a scene from the movie and they got together with just some amateur actors and some camera people to reenact that scene. So in the first episode of that series, you first have the read-through and the staging rehearsal. Yeah, as you all can see on the picture here, Ron Howard and the actors all have the script in their hand, and they talk about the roles that they're playing. Again, these are just amateur actors. They weren't the ones in the final product of the film. So yeah, they read through the script together and already start rehearsing a little bit. So in the second part of this series, he then went into staging for master shots. So here he was talking about first getting the master shots of like the entire group that is present during that scene. Again, where did the people need to be positioned so that you could clearly see everyone, or yeah, that someone wasn't blocked by someone else standing in the foreground or so. And then the episode after that is about for coverage, so you would get more of maybe like some close-ups or some medium shots of people. Instead of all 4 characters in there, you would, yeah, focus more on maybe 1 or 2 people. So that was really interesting to see how his mind already knew where the camera needs to be positioned, what shots need to happen so that in the editing room, the scene can be edited quite well. And again, down here, what I really like too, he always gave like alternatives. He said, this is one way we could film it and do it, but we could also do it this way or that way. I thought that was really cool how he is still open-minded and gave us different ideas of how you could film a scene like that. Now here in the Steadicam staging, they now really have the professional cameraman there with like this huge camera and the Steadicam, really like what they would use like in the final product of the film. So they would now really act everything out and move around the camera. What I could really learn from not just this episode but the entire series was just learning how he directs, how when a scene plays out and something is off or he doesn't like something or wants to change something, he just cut and he says what needs to be adjusted, needs to be changed, and they roll again. And I think just being not like self-secure or having like any doubts, just being confident and yeah, really leading them. I think that was really cool to see on screen. And also he gives you an idea here how that scene could have been filmed if you were shooting like a independent movie, which usually have much smaller budgets than like these big blockbuster movies. After the filming has wrapped up, you of course need to edit the film together in order for it to be a final product. So he gets into that here, lesson 28 and 29. Sound design is also something that is done in the editing room, and with that also comes the music and scoring. He talks about the effect that music can have on a scene. And yeah, again, here at the end, find the story you love. He gives you encouraging words. He tells you about the importance of having a story that you truly care about, and how from that you can create big and great things. So who do I recommend this masterclass for? Definitely for someone like me who is starting to get into short films, wants to start filming. Yeah, I thought this was really one of my favorite masterclass so far personally. There's so much I could learn. It's probably also great for people who have directed their first short films or even maybe a feature-length film. Just from his many experiences he has had on set, there's just so much you can learn even if you already know a lot. Yeah, if you have MasterClass and you're interested in filmmaking, go give this one a watch. I highly recommend it.